PM Designs, and this is the Meike battery grip for the Canon T3 or the 1100D. Just depending on where you are in the world, different names. On this one, the one thing I did notice is that the way the batteries are set up on here, this doesn't have the 8 AA battery holder. I'm guessing that's what it means, is depending on camera model, if it's capable of doing it, I guess it'll do it, but this battery grip didn't come with that. So that's about it on the box, nothing really too important. So inside is the battery grip itself, and the only part that's rattling is this little wheel right here, and it does have a rubber grip on there. Unlike on the camera, that I don't know how well it's gonna pick it up, but the camera's just kind of a rubberized plastic right here, very slightly rubberized, but this is more of a textured rubber grip. See if I get the camera to focus right there. So, looking at the battery grip on the bottom, this is my quick release plate from my tripod. On the back you have a little door that opens and you can insert 2 batteries. It'll work with one. If you just have one that's charged, it'll work without a problem. This one doesn't have any mode buttons or any kind of controls on it other than your shutter, which it's also, some of the higher end ones will connect to pins that are in the battery compartment that'll allow the controls to work, or they'll have some pins on here that'll correspond with pins on the bottom of the camera. This one just uses a 2.5 millimeter stereo cable to connect to the camera. To install it, all you have to do is, this is the battery compartment door, so we can get it to focus in there. This just clips in under here on this side, which you just kind of pull it out and it'll pop right off. Then once you have that, coming around to the battery grip, they have a little picture on here. It kind of shows you what orientation to put the battery in there. At the battery of the door. There's a little piece of foam in here that'll keep this from rattling around. What you do is you take your camera, insert it into the bottom like you would, and on the back there's an arrow that says lock, so you just turn it pretty much like you tighten it lefty loosey righty tighty. And a bunch of people say not to tighten it up, I just get it good and snug to where it's not wiggling around. And what you can do is just insert your 2 batteries. This the one I bought did come with some different batteries. These have a little bit more milliamp hour rating, if the camera will decide to focus on that. Or I'll just make it focus. Sorry about that shake. This is 7.4 volt, 1200 milliamp, and the factory Canon battery is 7.4, 860 milliamp hours. I haven't really tested these batteries to know how well they hold up. And then what you need to do is you come around to the side of your camera. Again, I'm going to see if I can get this to focus a little better. But inside here you'll have on the cover it'll indicate for your shutter release, USB and HDMI. What you want to do is it'll come with a little cable, which on this I kind of looped it and put a zip tie just to make it a little neater and not have that little excess loop of cable hanging around. See, you just insert one end into the camera body and then insert the other into the battery grip. I'll put this lens on manual focus just to show. So you turn your camera on and I guess that would make sense that it wouldn't want to take an exposure. I'm just going to take a really long exposure. Do something. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to tweak some settings on the camera. Maybe because I had the lens cap on and decided to go into really long exposure. So basically you have your normal shutter button, which will operate just a normal half click, which now I took that lens cap off. You have your half click where it'll focus, as well as on this button down here for holding the camera like this. You have your half click. So it works just the same as this button does, and it helps to be able to hold the camera like this for shooting portraits and then to shoot landscapes. It also provides a little bit extra grip surface. With this 40mm lens, it's kind of, you know, the camera's really light, so this does add a little bit more weight to it, which I find helps me hold the camera a little steadier. So that's about everything for this grip. I know a couple people have, in reviews I've read, have said these little tabs break, but for $25, you know, mine was $35 because it came with the 2 batteries. With that, it's, if it doesn't last me but you know, a year or two, it's not really that much money considering there is no Canon version available right now, and I really doubt. Since this has been out for a little while, I doubt they're going to come out with something for it, but you never know. So they may see if the market's interest is big enough for these aftermarket ones, they may say, you know what, we need to make a grip for this and cash in on that. So this is the T3 with the Meike battery grip. You can get them on Amazon, eBay, a few different photography websites online are carrying them. So if there's any issues with this grip, I'm going to make a follow-up video, but for right now, I like it. It gives you a little bit more room so you can fit your pinky in right here and get a little bit more of a grip on the camera. And I like that this is textured, and I just wish that this grip was textured as well like this, because it's a lot nicer. So that's the Meike battery grip. And the only downfall, and it's not the battery grip's fault, is that you have to have the cable going on the outside of the camera like this. Only improvement I could say is that someone should, or if Canon does something, what'll probably end up happening is making some kind of flat connector that'll sit closer to the camera body, so if you bump into these, you're not putting stress onto the plugs. So the only thing I could think of that could be done to improve it. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.